Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and we are back with more news and politics from around the world. This time for Tuesday, November the 12th, 2024. And we shall begin off with this article from inequality.org. No time to play just defense. Most Americans want what Donald Trump does not. Higher taxes on our richest and unions in our workplace. You shouldn't have voted for the dumbass. With Donald Trump about to re-enter the White House and his sidekicks about to resume control over Congress, America's progressives are once again shifting to playing defense. But the best defense, as the old football adage suggests, almost always turns out to be a good offense. In the coming Trump redux, can we progressives take that adage to heart? Dare we go on the offense and maybe even snatch a victory or two? We certainly can if we start pushing for what a vast majority of Americans so want to see, an America where the really rich don't run the show. How much our richest run the show has never been more obvious. Campaign spending campaign spending figures help tell that story. Back in the beginning of the 21st century, out-of-state contributions to the House and Senate races, be they from political action committees or individuals, funneled about the same amount of cash to candidates as in state donors. These PACs and individuals face district or strict limits on how much they can contribute politically. PACs, for their part, could accept no more than $5,000 from individuals each year and give no more than $5,000 directly to a candidate in each election cycle. Enter the Super PAC. In 2010, the U.S. Supreme Court Citizens United decision essentially gave America's wealthiest and the corporations free rein to spend as much as they wanted to boost candidates they find most appealing. This green light for what has become known as Super PACs gave America's richest the legal capacity to submit in place a new and improved plutocracy. In the 2024 election cycle alone, a former AFL-CIO political director, Michael Horzer, points out Super PACs and related groups have spent 7 times more on the candidates they support than those on the candidates have raised from individuals in their own states, which is never, ever, ever something that should happen. But we're in the second Gilded Age, as I've explained before, and until we can make them realize by force, if need be, I don't suggest force, but they act like that's what they want. They need to see that using their money as power, as speech, is unfucking acceptable. But we'll end this article here. I can't speak for some reason today. This is from ProPublica. Despite Biden's promise to protect old forests, his administration keeps approving plans to cut them down. Do, do, do. On Earth Day in 2022, President Biden stood among cherry blossoms and towering Douglas firs in Seattle Park to declare the importance of big old trees. There used to be a hell of a lot more forest like this, he said, calling them our planet's lungs and extolling their power to fight climate change. The amount of carbon trees suck out of the air increases dramatically with age, making older trees especially important. These trees are also rare. Less than 10% of forests in the lower 48 states remain unlogged by undisturbed by development. The president uncapped his pen, preparing to sign an executive order to protect mature and old-growth forests on federal lands. I just think this is the beginning of a new day. Clearly not. But 2 years later, at a timber auction in the federal office in Roseburg, Oregon, this new day was nowhere to be seen. As journalists and protesters waited outside, logging company representatives filed through a secure glass door to a room where only qualified bidders were allowed. Up for sale this September morning were the first trees from an area of the forest of the Bureau of Land Management calls Blue and Gold. It holds hundreds of thousands of trees on 3,225 acres in southern Oregon's Coast Range. Forests here can absorb more carbon per acre than almost any other on the planet. A week after Biden's executive order, the Blue and Gold logging project had been shelved. Now it was back on. The Bureau of Land Management is moving forward with timber sales in dozens of forests like this across the West, auctioning off their trees to companies that will turn them into plywood, 2x4s, and paper products. Under Biden, the agency is on track to log some 47,000 acres of public lands, nearly the same amount as President Donald Trump's first term in office. This includes even some mature and old-growth forests that Biden's executive order was supposed to protect. And Oregon Public Broadcasting and ProPublica analysis found that the Bureau has allowed timber companies to cut such forests at a faster pace since the executive order than in the decade that preceded it. And this is also why I have a video coming out tomorrow that talks about why we need a new political party in the U.S. because the two we have aren't doing it. I've argued for a while now about the evils of the duopoly we're in, and it's only making things in the U.S. worse. From the lever, Elon Musk could now reap huge tax gift from Trump win. Thanks to a provision buried in the tax code, Elon Musk could reap one of the largest personalized tax breaks in American history if former President Trump wins the 2024 election and fulfills his pledge to appoint Musk to a top government post. Dear God. Seriously? You're going to put that... Well, I shouldn't be surprised. He puts other morons in such high levels of power. So why not put that moron in a high level of power? Oh, jeez. To a top government post, according to tax and ethics experts' review of long-standing statutes. This special tax benefit, which is only available to federal officials, would be in addition to a massive tax breaks Musk could reap if a new Trump administration further cuts income and other taxes for billionaires. I cannot talk. Why can't I speak properly? Musk has poured millions of dollars into a Trump-boosting super PAC. His companies, Tesla and SpaceX, currently have billions of dollars of government contracts that could be regulated or expanded by new government commission or cabinet level department that Trump is promising will be headed by Musk. Trump has said Musk will be the new Secretary of Cost Cutting, and Musk said he can't wait to work in a Trump White House. You know what's funny? Well, it isn't funny, but what is complete and utter bullshit? They don't care about the Constitution, but they'll fucking cry about it left and fucking right, over and over, and whine and cry. But when they get in power, let's give my buddies these big breaks. I shouldn't have to give up my stuff. America, why are you so stupid? Why are you so fucking stupid? You keep voting in these asshats. God damn it. Why are you so goddamn stupid? The United States Office of Government Ethics, a federal watchdog agency, notes that the basic criminal conflict of interest statute prohibits government employees from participating personally and substantially in official matters where they have a financial interest. Again, and that agency can require top officials to divest corporate holdings that create a conflict of interest in a government job. You haven't been doing a good enough job. I know you're still trying to proclaim a level of ethics, but Trump shouldn't have been able to maintain the kind of power he continued to hold while in office in the first term. I mean, for Christ's sake, Jimmy Carter was a peanut farmer. He had a peanut farm. That was his main thing he did. He ran one presidency and he was forced to sell off his peanut farm. He did, because he knew that was the right thing to do. But people like Trump don't give a shit. And if there aren't enough people willing to step down and kick them in the nut sack and say, you need to do this, this, and this. I'm so sick of this shit. Again, America, why was you so fucking stupid? Again. A provision inserted in the tax code 35 years ago allows government officials to definitively defer all capital gains taxes on such divestment, a tax benefit worth potentially tens of billions of dollars to Musk if he is appointed by Trump to a top government post. The tax benefit has previously been used by the George W. Bush administration officials, including former Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson, whose divestment from his Goldman Sachs holdings were reportedly worth nearly $500 million. The U.S. Senate has yet to confirm President Biden's nominee for a 5-year term to head the federal agency that would rule on Musk's potential conflict of interest and the subsequent tax benefits. If the vacancy carries over through the new election, a new Trump administration could appoint the replacement. In 2017, state Democrats proposed legislation to limit the tax deferral, but the legislation failed to advance. Defer all capital. Oh, jeez almighty. Okay. Now let's get into some statistical data. Oh, so stupid was burning my brain. Just 6% of the U.S. population has access to an affordable first house. Jeez. The only group meeting common affordability metric, the 28% rule, 5.7%. Look how ridiculous that is. Over a quarter of Americans would have 40 to 49% of the house payment as a percent of county median household income. It would take half their income. This is why America's so screwed. 1 in 10 live in an area where the house payment requires 80% of before tax median income or 100% of take home pay. That's such goddamn bullshit. It should not be that way. This is why the rich, the wealthy, the corporations, the monopolies, trust, all these need cracked down on. But no, it's let's deregulate further because we're stupidly rich and we want to be even dumber. But yeah. Okay, we got some images to look at here. This image is John F. Kennedy and Jacqueline Bouvier at their outdoor reception in Newport, Rhode Island in September of 1953. So, yeah, wedding reception. They were together for a whole decade before the unfortunate events in Dallas. Yep, Jackie Kennedy. And this is before she was Kennedy. She was Jacqueline Bouvier. Hooves with the horseshoes on them of killed and eaten horses of the German 6th Army in 1943 in Stalingrad. Not safe for work content, but it's just one of these images to show you how tough some periods of war are. You see all the horse hooves and you can see the horseshoes on them. It's just where the horses would end up being killed and eaten because things were so tough in going through that cold, snowy winter. Yeah. Dr. Mary Edwards Walker, assistant surgeon during the Civil War and the only woman with a Medal of Honor, circa 1864. So yeah. Received a Medal of Honor, was a surgeon in the Civil War. Always interesting to look back on periods like that. Here's an image from space. I just think these kinds of things are interesting. Hubble Space Telescope spots a supernova in the spiral galaxy of NGC 1672, and we see the image before and after. Now, keep a look. Right here's the arrow, and it's pointing to this spot. As you can see, there's nothing right now. Next image, you see the light, the little bright dot. So, yeah, it's produced so much light. And you got to remember, this is not tiny. If you're seeing a new bright dot out of nowhere, something's happened, because this is way out. This is a whole different galaxy. Remember, galaxies are filled with multiple solar systems. And wherever there's a star, that also counts when it's seen from far, or wherever there's a sun, it counts as being seen from far as a star. So you have multiple solar systems. I mean, millions and billions in a galaxy. There are a huge number of galaxies in the universe. We're in the Milky Way. This is a complete separate galaxy. So if you're seeing that pop up, that little dot pop up, something big happened. Yeah, it's crazy. Alright, we got some articles to go through here. From the AP, federal judge blocks the Louisiana law that requires classrooms to display the 10 Commandments. Thank goodness someone has common sense to say, no, that is countermanding to what the Constitution wants. Also from the AP, U.S. says it will not limit Israel arms transfer after some improvements in flow of aid to Gaza. Make sure the aid can get through good so we can give you the weapons and bombs to kill more. And people can say all they want about Biden and Kamala, oh, they ain't done enough, blah, blah, blah. But Trump isn't a dove. He's done made it clear he'll allow Netanyahu to kill as much as he wants. The fuck is wrong with you people? From DW.com, Shell wins appeal against order to cut emissions. Dutch court has upheld Shell's appeal against a 2021 verdict, forcing it to almost halve oil and gas emissions by 2030. No, the appeal is the stupid shit to uphold. The Dutch court was right the first fucking goddamn... Stupid fucking world. It's like fuckers are too stupid to fucking live. You're too goddamn stupid. We've got intelligence, but we're gonna do the dumbest thing possible to kill off the planet and us with it. From CNBC. 11 injured in Louisville explosion. Shelter in place. Order lifted for hazardous materials incident. Fire department said a large-scale incident was underway after a reported explosion at the address of Givaudan, Givaudan, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, Sense Colors, which makes natural food colorings. Really? Food colorings? Okay. Okay. From the AP, Harriet Tubman posthumously named a general in Veterans Day ceremony. Revered abolitionist Harriet Tubman, who was the first woman to oversee an American military action during a time of war, was posthumously awarded the rank of general on Monday. Dozens gathered on Veterans Day at the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad State Park in Maryland's Dorchester County for a formal ceremony making Tubman a one-star brigadier general in the state's National Guard. Governor Wes Moore called the occasion not just a great day for Tubman's home state, but for all the U.S. He's right on that account. Good on you. I mean, if she oversaw an American military action during a time of war, during the Civil War, and all she did leading the Underground Railroad, why, yeah, give her a rank as a one-star brigadier general posthumously. I mean, it's an honor. From The Guardian, Trump hush money judge delays ruling on whether to throw out conviction. Postponement follows numerous successful attempts to delay the case in which he was convicted on 34 felony counts. So the one case he did... No, he's been convicted once. He was convicted before he was president. There was no fucking immunity. What the fucking hell? Are you that goddamn stupid? He was not president at that point. He is and always will be a fucking felon. He's always been and always will be a lying sack of shit con man. But you motherfuckers would lick his asshole clean. God damn you all. Fucking stupid motherfuckers. This is from The Root. I just thought it was funny. Wait, what? Folks in red states Google searched how to change my vote in droves after Trump's victory. Iowa had the highest number of people searching how to change their votes. You all fucked up. You all fucked up. You're going to have to deal with it. As America grapples with Trump's impending second presidential term, folks in red states are wondering if they could change their vote at either the local, state, or federal level. Y'all are dumb. You are really, really fucking dumb. Google Trends saw a dramatic increase in searches for how to change my vote as early as the morning of Election Day, before the polls were closed, according to Virginia news outlet WAVY. Google Trends also reveals that from November the 4th to 11th, the searches peaked on Election Day, November the 5th at 7 a.m. and gradually decreased throughout the day. On November the 6th, Trump was announced the winner. Other state and local leaders were also announced that day. Iowa, which went red, was the state that had the highest amount of people looking to change their votes. This occurred mostly in the areas of Des Moines, Ames, Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, Iowa City, and Dubuque. Interestingly enough, the highest number of the searches took place on Monday, November the 11th at 5 a.m., less than a week after Election Day. Other states with the same high search interest include Kansas, Idaho, Nebraska, and Alabama, all states that Trump secured. Fucking stupid asses. I hate the son of a bitch, but y'all stupid. Y'all fucking stupid. From the Hill, Trump picks Huckabee as U.S. ambassador to Israel. Former governor of Arkansas, big time Christian. Yeah. Just another bullshit pick. From Semaphore, Mexico mulls retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. This is why tariffs were dropped 100 years ago. Everybody was throwing tariffs on every goddamn else until stuff got so damn expensive people couldn't fucking afford it. Is this just a contest to see who can vote the dumbest fucker into office? I want to know. I honestly do. I'm not aware of it if it is. Is this supposed to be we're voting the dumbest cocksucker into office possible? Please let me know, because that seems to be what's going the fuck on. From The Guardian, Trump demands Senate allow him to circumvent hearings to appoint his cabinet. Fuck you, cocksucker. Quit being the little bitch you are. Also from The Guardian, mass deportations would disrupt the food chain. Californians warn of ripple effect of Trump threat. In 2023, state was the nation's sole producer of almonds, artichokes, figs, olives, pomegranates, raisins, and walnuts. Yeah, a lot of these border states use immigrant labor. And yeah, they're going to suffer. They're going to suffer huge. Absolutely fucking huge. If what Trump has been threatening goes through, many crop productions will rot and will have trouble getting certain items when it comes to these certain food products. And it's going to raise the prices on those particular items, and many Americans are going to get fucked even harder. From Common Dreams, Trump cabinet picks so far decried as nightmare fuel. The good news is that we can win these types of fights, said one campaigner. We helped drive out 3 cabinet secretaries from office last time, and we can do that kind of thing again. Progressive advocates voiced alarm Monday over U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's initial leadership picks, including a border czar who oversaw the separation of migrant families during the Republicans' first term, amid fresh allegations that the 2024 victor's transition team is breaking the law by failing to sign a required ethics agreement. As of Monday, Trump has tapped, or in one case is expected to imminently name, the following senior administration officials: Elise Stefanik as UN ambassador, Lee Zeldin as Environmental Protection Agency administrator, Tom Homan for border czar. Whoop, skipped one there. Stephen Miller for Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy. Yeah, Miller's a psychopath. There ain't no refuting that. From CNBC, Exxon CEO says Trump should keep U.S. involved in global effort to address climate change. The U.S. should continue to influence global climate change policy under a second Trump administration, Exxon CEO Darren Woods said. President-elect Donald Trump withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Climate Agreement in 2017 and is expected to do so again in his second term. Woods warned that Exxon's investments in carbon capture technologies would change if federal tax incentives are weakened under Trump. So again, it all comes down to the dollar, the bottom line, tax incentives. From the Telegraph, Marco Rubio says he is against Gaza ceasefire. Of course he is. Because he's a neocon war hawk. Like I said, Trump is not this peaceful dove people have been trying to proclaim he is. He's just not. Blue Sky is seeing an exodus of unhappy ex-users following the election. Formerly Twitter is no longer the digital town square it once promised to be. Following the results of the U.S. presidential election, floods of users unhappy with the app's latest direction are moving over to a competing app, Blue Sky. Blue Sky's decentralized social media platform has steadily grown from 9+ million users as of September to 14.6 million plus users as of Tuesday, with the latest surge taking place over the weekend as U.S. users fled X. The exodus briefly made Blue Sky the #2 iPhone app in the U.S. App Store on Monday, up from number 27 the day after the elections. Today it's dropped slightly to third behind Meta's Threads and ChatGPT. The pace of new user signups is also worth noting. Yesterday, multiple outlets reported Blue Sky has gained more than 700,000 users over the past week, bringing its total to 14.5 million. One day later, it's over 14.6 million, indicating that roughly 100,000 users are joining daily. So yeah, there's been several apps that have been trying to form to become answers to the cesspool of X. And Blue Sky's making some noise, so. From CBC, Canadian Broadcast Corporation, Paris to deploy 4,000 police officers for Israel-France soccer match following violence in Amsterdam. 4,000 police officers. All because Israelis are too fucking stupid. They're complete and utter jackasses. From The Guardian, big oil firms knew of dire effects of fossil fuels as early as 1950s, memos show. Newly unearthed documents contain warning from head of Air Pollution Foundation, founded in 1953 by the oil interests. So yeah, they knew what was coming, what their product caused, and they just didn't care. From Al Jazeera, Houthis launch missile drone attacks on U.S. warships off Yemen's coast. The Iran-backed group launched drones and fired missiles at 2 U.S. warships in an hours-long attack, the Pentagon confirms. I've got a video here Israeli soccer attacks Amsterdam photographer on what really happened. Yeah, Mehdi Hassan, Zateo. Great channel. But I think the video's fairly long. It's about half hour if I remember right. So we won't be watching it here, but I'm going to add it to the links in the description box below the video. And we'll have it there if y'all want to watch. Now, we're going to watch some smaller videos here. Francesca Albanese. It's time to consider suspending the credential of Israel as a member of the UN.
It's because history is repeating itself. Yesterday, I presented my second report on genocide. Why so? Why do I insist in calling it genocide? Because it's so difficult to prove intent. Why don't you go with war crimes and crimes against humanity? Because it's genocide. Because if you go to a doctor and you have cancer and you are diagnosed with fever, you have a problem, a big problem, and it's the same with the people who's being genocided. Because it's not about a collection of war crimes and crimes against humanity that the Palestinians are experiencing. They have experienced through their entire life as a people. No one has been spared, not just among the Palestinians and the Lebanese, even in the United Nations. And it's because of that, on top of the genocide and on top of the 57 years of unlawful occupation, that I say it's time to consider suspending the credential of Israel as a member state. I understand the sensitivity, because none of you has really clean hands when it comes to human rights. That's okay, but no one else has maintained an unlawful occupation violating decades of UN Security Council, General Assembly, Human Rights Council, International Court of Justice, decision and resolutions as Israel has done. Enough.
Good on you. Yeah, it's genocide. That's what it is. I decided a long time ago to stop calling it a war. I hated that because it was not a war. It was one-sided. Here's the video. Orthodox Jews burning the Zionist Israeli flag in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, New York. Just a little bit of information here. The Orthodox Jews do not believe there is supposed to be a homeland for the Jews. And yeah, Israel should not be. think it was like Orthodox or ultra Orthodox. One of them was like, no, there is not supposed to be a homeland for the Jews. You know, and they completely disagree with the reforming of Israel, which is why I always laugh when people go, if you're anti-Zionist, you're an anti-Semite. No. That's stupid. That stupid is all shit. But yeah. Here we have a video. Palestinian families are being forced out of their homes in Beit Hanun, northern Gaza, as Israel increases its siege and bombardment, aiming to ethnically cleanse the region. And it is what they're doing. It's an ethnic cleansing.
وين شبشبك يا عمر؟ انقطع. شبشبك انقطع في الطريق؟ انت جاي من بيت حنون؟ كيف الطريق؟
والله صعبة. حسبنا الله عليها وطلعنا من هناك.
الحمد لله على السلامة يا عمر.
الله يسلمك.
This is the suffering Israel's causing, and we are just allowing it to happen, funding the capability of it to happen. I'm so sick of people crying, oh, I'm Christian, oh, I'm good, I believe it, blah, blah. If you back this, I don't want to hear your bullshit. You're not a good human being, period. On the other side here, a group of masked individuals waved Nazi flags outside a performance of The Diary of Anne Frank, held at an American Legion in Livingston County, Michigan. Now, anti-Semitism is wrong. Being anti-Zionist does not make you anti-Semitic. But shit like this, that is anti-Semitic. And it is wrong.
Shock and fear at a performance of The Diary of Anne Frank, not because of the disturbing details from her diary, but because of what was happening outside. Nazi flags being held by several people gathered outside of the production. This video shared on social media shows the demonstrators flying the Nazi flag outside the American Legion where the play was being performed.
Several individuals using masks to hide their faces, not only waving Nazi flags, but also
they're
reportedly
bitches, they're
shouting
cowards.
slurs.
That's who
According
they
to some
are.
Reports they eventually vacated the
They
premises after the
really
Legion.
are. All bitches and cowards. Next video. Amsterdam residents express how Israelis spat at them, physically attacked them, threw alcohol and glass bottles at passers-by, while the police did nothing.
How did the Maccabi hooligans behave towards local Amsterdammers?
Different from moment to moment. Every time someone with a Palestinian a symbol or anything walked by, they got pretty violent, middle fingers, but also like physical violence.
Then I passed the monument and they threw beer at me and they spitted at me in the Damstraat. But it was like a very aggressive tense over here, like, yeah.
So Maccabi hooligans threw beer at you and they spit at you?
Yeah, and it was okay, I'm okay, but...
How did that make you feel though?
Worried. I don't like aggressiveness in my city. Amsterdam has always been a tolerant city towards others, but when a group so aggressively comes in, I don't know, make me not feel at home anymore.
At one moment there was someone who was pulled off the bike, and we walked to there to just see what happened, and at that point a glass bottle was thrown at us from the crowd of Maccabi supporters. So no, didn't really feel safe at all.
Maccabi hooligans threw glass at pro-Palestinian people just cycling by?
Yeah.
And did the police intervene?
No, they told us to step back, go away, or they even said that you shouldn't have stood there.
So they blamed you for being attacked?
They did.
Sounds like they need to be fired for not doing their fucking jobs. But what do you expect from the fucking police? Even the Dutch police are stupid shitheads. Final video. Dearborn Mayor Abdullah Hammoud responds to Senator John Fetterman's vulgar attacks on his community. I think Fetterman has done more for the state of Israel than he has done for the residents of Pennsylvania. I agree wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
I want to give you a chance to respond to some who have been pointing the fingers at Muslim voters who went to Trump. When asked about the impact of the Gaza war, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman singled out your city saying, quote, "So, Dearborn delivered for Trump. Okay, congratulations. You're going to love the next Muslim ban." Your reaction to this tone-deaf and offensive comment from a Democratic senator from Pennsylvania?
I think Fetterman has done more for the state of Israel than he has for the residents of Pennsylvania. And obviously you saw the election results in Pennsylvania, so those will speak for itself. I don't think anybody should ask John Fetterman what's happening in the city of Dearborn. Come to speak to our residents. Again, this is where
piece
folk
of
try
fucking
to
garbage Fetterman is. He can go fuck his ass.
On what actually unfolded.
Fuck your own ass, you shit fucking some bitch.
Who was seeking to reinstill decency, morality
he's
back
garbage.
To the White House. And we did our part.
Anybody
for
who
nearly 1 year,
takes money from AIPAC and then decides to support Israel can go and fuck themselves.
What happened? They stoked hatred towards university protesters who were standing up against genocide. They wagged their finger at residents who thought that they could not go to the ballot box and morally fill
one of these
in
beacons
the
of hope.
Democratic candidate.
We might have something good.
Genocide that's unfolding.
But he turns into complete and utter shit stain of a human being.
That's happening under the current Democratic president.
And
nearly over 100,000.
Fuck John Fetterman. Fuck John Fetterman. I hope he gets destroyed against the next candidate he goes up against. I hope he gets routed so fucking bad. I hope it's an 85-15 score on his fucking ass. Anyway, we'll go ahead and end this episode here. We've went through everything. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting these links in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.